Y'all already know I love me some Air Max, and being that it is Air Max month, Air Max Day is on, I believe, March 26th. I felt like I had to make some content based around some Air Max. So what I'm gonna do is rank my 5 favorite Air Max that I currently own in my collection. I'm gonna go through each one, give you guys some details on why I love them so much and why they're so special to me. First things first, I feel like I have to give you guys some lore about why I love Air Max so much. So back in the day when I was going to school, my uncle used to give me a bunch of hand-me-downs and shit like that. But it was one specific school year that I actually caught up to my mom's shoe size. And my mom was a very big Air Max 95 fan, a big Air Max fan in general. So when I caught up to her shoe size, she gave me about 3 pairs of Air Max 95s, the gray and yellow pair, the gray and orange pair, and then eventually I got the gray and neons from her. So that was kind of like my introduction into Air Max, and I always associated those shoes with my mom. So that's why the sneakers are so special to me. If anybody ever wanted to know, I don't do it to just be cool. Let's go ahead, hit my top 5 in my collection. I'm kind of excited to go through these because it's not often that I get to talk about sneakers and stuff on the channel. You know, a lot of my content revolves around video games and shit. So to give you guys a little bit more insight to who I am, that's gonna be cool. So let's do it. Gotta make sure I'm doing this in the right order. I raise this all the way, you know I'm a tall nigga. So first on my top 5 Air Max that I personally own at the moment, we have to go with the Air Max Deluxe, one of my favorite silhouettes. I believe the shoe came out in 1999 originally, then it came back out in 2018, so almost 20 years later it got a retro. But I love this shoe. You know me, I'm a very ridiculous person when it comes to like aesthetic and designs and shit. So the fact that this shoe has like that swirl imprint always like kind of endeared me to the shoe. And then the Air Max unit going all the way around, it's a fucking awesome shoe. Also have the chili version of these, but these are like one of my favorite pairs, one of my favorite colors of the shoe. I think these are called the enamel green color of the Air Max Deluxe. So very cool shoe. I've had about 4 or 5 pairs of these already. This particular color I've had twice. Great fucking shoe. I'm gonna have to get a fit off with them soon for the gram. I've worn them a bunch of times, but we need to get a solid pick for the gram. So number 5 on my list, the Air Max Deluxe. A couple of years ago, they were going for like $60, $70, $80. People slept on them when they got retroed. Thank you guys for sleeping. I love you guys. And yeah, we're gonna have to get these off very, very soon. Let's move on to number 4. Alright, y'all, so number 4 on my Air Max list that I currently own, we have to go with the Air Max 95 Quick Strike. I think these came out in 2023, I could be wrong, but this is the anatomy of Air Pack. So the shoe, let me put this down over here. So this shoe is supposed to represent like the human body and like the actual like layers of the human body, right? So you have like all the different muscle layers and shit like that. And then if you see on the tongue, see if I can get that in the frame, there's like some human looking tissue thing going on there. And then you have the bottom with the actual muscle layout of the shoe. Obviously we wore them once or twice. So this is a super cool shoe. And this Air Max 95 is a part of a fucking pack. Now I don't have the full complete pack, but the next shoe on my list is also a part of the anatomy of Air Pack. So I wanted to put them as the same selection, but I have to put them as different selections just because I love the shoes so very much. So this is one of the other shoes in that pack, and this is the bone colorway of that anatomy of Air Pack. So this is supposed to be the muscle of the human body, and then this is supposed to be the bones of the human body. So the same way that Air Max had like the muscles, this one has like a rib cage on the tongue and on the bottom. Instead of it being the muscles in your foot, it's the bones in your foot. And this shoe actually glows in the dark. Super cool fucking shoe. Very basic as far as like colors go, but I love me pack with a theme. That's like a very old thing back in the day with Nike. So very cool. All right, my heart. So next on my list, we got to keep it moving. Number 2 on my list is none other than the Kids of Immigrant Air Max Sunder collaboration. So first off, I want to get to the box before we look at the shoe. Hold on. Alright, villain. So the top of the box says Kids of Immigrants, has the stars all over it and shit like that. Very cool. And it actually came with like these fucking, I hope I didn't throw them out. No, I didn't. They right here. They came with like these fucking these phone cards. And this is supposed to be like reminiscent of immigrant kids calling back home to their families and shit like that. So this pack was a very cool fucking theme. Very happy about this pack. Nike clutched it. Kids of Immigrants absolutely cooked. And now to look at the actual shoe. This is like the craziest fucking shoe I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, man, the Air Max Sunder collab with Kids of Immigrants was just insane to me. Completely like changed the outside of the shoe. If you know what the regular Air Max Sunder looks like, you know it doesn't look like this, but very beautiful shoe. The purple ombre to the pink. Oh man, great fucking shoe. There was another color that came out as well. And then there was a third colorway that came out that was a little bit more limited, but very cool Air Max. Definitely number 2 in my collection. As you can see, a lot of my favorites have purple. Smart shit right there. This one we're gonna have to take a seat for this one. This is my favorite Air Max in my collection, chat. This might be a little bit controversial for some people, but my favorite Air Max silhouette ever is the Air Max Plus. Some people call it the TN. I think it's the best Air Max shoe ever made. I think it's the most comfortable, the coolest looking. This shoe actually came out, I want to say 2017, maybe 2018, the latest. But this is the Air Max Plus Greedy. As you can see, it's basically both of the OG Air Max TNs, but put together as one shoe. And this to me is like the grail of my collection. I would never sell these. I would never get rid of them. Like, this is like my favorite fucking shoe in my collection at the moment. And definitely my favorite Air Max of all time, guys. So yeah, man, if you ever wanted to know, I got Air Max from my mom. My favorite model is the TN and the Greedy colorway. Absolutely my favorite, guys. So you let me know what's your favorite Air Max. So I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna be mad that I didn't choose some of my other Air Max, but fuck those Air. I know a lot of people just think about like the 95s and shit like that, but there's some really cool colorways of TNs, deluxes. There's so many other Air Max that I can't even think of off the top of my head right now, like the 96s, the Tailwinds. So much to go over, but in my collection currently, right now, this has to be number 1. You guys let me know. If you want, leave your top 5 Air Max down below in the comment section, and I'll see you guys on the next piece of content, y'all. Peace.
He wants to go on testing more bombs.
Well, I guess there's nothing for us to worry about. We're the ones that have the bomb.